Alright, welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah.
We are in what?
Taycan Turbo.
Yep, not the Turbo S. We've already done that. If
Not
you
the
haven't
4S.
seen it, go look at the video. Like Aaron said, also done the 4S. So this is the one right below the Turbo S, Taycan Turbo. And we are at the lovely Suncoast Porsche. We want to thank them so much for letting us use this car and bring you guys this review where we can show you basically all the lines as each one comes out. If the base one comes out, we'll do that one too, but we want to kind of show you the variety, what each one has to offer, what we like about them, and things like that, right?
Yep, and this spec, everybody's gonna love this.
Yeah,
thing.
this is a really, really cool spec, so definitely stay tuned, and we're going to show you all the juicy stuff, so enjoy.
All right.
This never gets old, does it?
No,
Was that scrapage?
may have been.
Sounded like it.
You got it in Sport Plus, is super low.
Still should be smart enough to know that I'm going somewhere.
I'm going places, car.
All the other ones automatically like raise up or do whatever. I don't know. Anyways,
I don't care what they do.
Taycan Turbo.
Yep, jet black metallic. So
Like a cocoa interior, tobacco
No.
brown interior.
as much as we joke, because we normally, if it's like tan or brown, we always call it the club spec. This is actually the Olay club leather interior in truffle brown.
Truffle brown with like actual wood inlays in it.
Yeah, they're pretty nice. We have massage seats. We have seat ventilation.
With like rose gold trim.
Yeah, it is a rose gold dress. Yeah, with a satin arium, I believe is what it would be referred to as.
And it's got the gold wheels on the back. It looks like it has a carbon pack on it.
Yeah, it does have a carbon back.
So let's go through some of the highlights as I drive so you can tell these folks what are some of the most expensive add-ons to this particular spec, and then we'll go to the total price at the end of what this is, because people seem to like that.
The most expensive thing is this the 21-inch Mission E design wheels. That's cool. They still kind of kept the Mission E name for stuff. That's the most expensive thing on that. That's a $3,500 option. The truffle brown.
That's not too bad for wheels though, because even if you buy aftermarket wheels, that's about 35 to 5,000 is about right for a good set of wheels.
And these are custom for the Taycan, so that's another thing. That's pretty cool. I actually take that back. The most expensive thing is the Porsche Info Drive and Adaptive Cruise Control. So that's the dual screens, and then obviously
How much does that cost?
That's $3,600.
Okay.
And then, like I said, the leather option was $2,400. What else is there? Anything cool?
Not too crazy. Like I guess you get a lot already with it. Obviously, being a Taycan Turbo, I would imagine.
You get extra. I guess there's extra installation for thermal and noise for the glass. That's an option.
That makes sense.
And then let's see, what else do we have on here? The high gloss black calipers is an option. That's a $900 change. From the black looks good too.
Not too crazy amount. I mean, if you took them to like a dealer or something aftermarket, you're probably paying about half that, $400 or $500 to get paint done and installed and all that kind of crap anyway. So.
And something we haven't seen before is this exterior carbon fiber trim. That's an option, and that is a $2,000 option.
Not too horrible, but the staggering number is, what's the final price on this?
So, if you were to find the basest of base Taycan turbos, we start at $150,900.
Okay.
Option, the way that you currently see it in what we're calling like the 928 throwback spec with these colors, is $181,610.
Ouch.
Oh, and that's including your delivery, processing, handling fee.
Yeah.
So.
Now, that's pricey. However, you're getting a space shuttle for that.
It's true. You save an annual $2,700.
Bro, that was 3/4.
I
always forget, like, because it's been a few months since we've been in one of these.
Yeah, and what you're also forgetting is power difference.
Yeah.
So we're at 670 horsepower in this one. So that's on motor.
That's a beast.
Oh, this also has the performance battery, which is the 93.4 kilowatt.
Okay. And it still has all the Star Wars noises in it.
It certainly
like that
does.
Too. So, I mean, so basically you said you could get into this at 150. This is spec'd up to like one. So you have about $30,000, give or take 1,000 or two here in options, right?
Some good stuff too.
But I would say though, even though it's $30,000 uptake on options, like all of these help make this car the way it is.
Yes, it absolutely. It's the difference between 4S and turbo right now to me is
night and day.
Night and day. I mean, you're 100% getting what you're paying for.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like. I mean, obviously it looks similar because they're a lineup, but. There's something about these feels, the different touches that they're doing, and then Turbo S is
even the sports
extra.
chrono, there's like a wood inlay in the background.
Yeah, they've gone all out. It's not just like a black sports chrono, and they could have, phoned home on that.
Yeah, I think Aaron makes a very, very good, valid point there, because a lot of times, and we love Porsche, so there's no secret about that, but Porsche sometimes disguises models within models, meaning what I mean by that is you may be paying a little bit more for something within the same spec line, but it's not really that much different. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a drastic difference between the lines, I feel like, here.
Well, this is 100% the reason they call it a turbo and the other one a Turbo S, because of price point, and the materials they're using are just the same things you would see in the turbo lineup.
Yeah.
Full leather dash, full leather everywhere. All the little different extra
every
touches.
Touch point is amazing. The leather dash, like Aaron said, the leather steering wheel feels fantastic. And these steering wheels too, and it's all of the Taycans we've driven so far. The diameter is smaller, so it feels very motorsporty. I like that, even though this is a sedan, it really makes you feel like you are an enthusiast car. Mm-hmm. And, you would think it's a very minor touch, but I'm telling you, from a driving perspective, looking at these carbon mirrors, because as you should, as a driver, you should be checking your mirrors often. When I look at that mirror, even though I'm not staring at the carbon fiber and I can kind of see it outside of that mirror, it actually feels really good to just look at that. It looks very, very cool to look at.
There's almost a 911 effect when you look in your mirror. You almost don't even notice that second door.
Yeah.
Like it's almost, with the coupe line,
Well, I'm almost positive that's probably the haunches.
Yeah.
They probably did that on purpose.
That gives you a psychological.
Because when I look out
when
I look out the driver mirror and I look out the passenger mirror, the haunches in the back remind me of a 911. So if you a 911 driver, or owned a 911, or even driven a 911 at any given point, you kind of have a sense of home. I think that was purpose behind that.
And it makes the car shrink a little bit.
It does. And this is just as fast. I mean,
that is fast.
Oh my God. How could you not want this? I say I forget. I know how good these are, but like, this really, really is like technology at its best.
So since we brought it up in the beginning, Turbo S. We haven't done launch control, but do you think the S is worth the extra money? Because it's really not that much extra on top of something spec like this.
I don't think so.
So you think this is a good...
I mean, I know it's been very short-lived since we've been in here, but honestly, I think you are literally getting like 99% of Turbo S here. I think if you have the money and just a habit, I guess. And then go for it. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. That it's a super flex. Yeah. You're like, I've got the Turbo S. But to be honest with you, much like anything within Porsche's lineup, people have no idea the different models. You know, maybe nowadays it's brought a different group of people in, maybe some techie people with these electric cars to Porsche, where they understand the levels of models. But just from an exterior standpoint, for most people looking at these, a base Taycan and a Taycan Turbo, they probably really won't be able to tell the difference. Maybe just on wheels, that's probably going to be the only thing that really stands out to them.
And just depending on what wheels you get too, because you can get those high-end.
Yeah, well, you can get these wheels.
Yeah,
it's an option
sport design wheels with
a Turbo S.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the call on that if you want to go that way. But I mean, personally, I think this is a great spec. I mean, this is a great place to be. But I mean, again, it's got everything. I mean, it's got those, 918 hybrid like technology and with the headlights and stuff like that, and the race car stuff. And I mean, it's just,
this is the most sport design specs yet.
I mean, I wish I did have the funds for something like this, because I mean, this really is next level. And you're going to be next level for a long time. This isn't just like a 1-year flex.
It makes everything just feel old instantly. Everything you look around and see, you're like, okay, well.
Well, I want to touch on that for a minute, because in nowadays where something it comes out, it's already decaying the minute it comes out. Nowadays, because technology moves so fast. Anything in the tech world, like computers, phones, whatever. I don't think that's the case with this. I think this is going to have some staying power for at least 3 to 5 years.
Yep, I think they're going to try to get at least 5 years out of their. Maybe they don't cycle as much with these cars. They don't really have to. Maybe we're not going to see .2, generations of the Taycans, and there's just going to be a Taycan. This lineup's going to be a 10-year run. Kind of expanded.
Well, I'm sure, they'll probably do add-ons to it, like you said, but like the basis of this will probably remain. When a company reaches this far out, as far as thinking of everything, like fit and finish, the technology that goes into it, it really kind of puts themselves in a driver's seat as far as being able to continue to develop and stay ahead of the curve, because now they could pretty much go put this out and not touch it for a few years, while behind the scenes they're working on the next upgrade.
Yeah, to see that
instead of trying to play catch up, they're always ahead.
Yeah, to see that this is what's produced now, what they're doing has to be crazy. What they're
can you imagine what we're going to see in the next decade from them if this is what's out currently? Yeah. Like, people are taking delivery of this. This is what you can drive today. Not in coming years. This is active.
Yeah.
I think it's insane. That never gets old, that Star Wars noise. I'm sure someday that'll get phased out, but I hope not, because I actually like the way that sounds. I think it's actually really cool.
Yeah, I think it's helpful.
Especially us motorsporty guys, where everything is loud, even the daily.
No, I mean, if it was super silent, then you don't get any engagement out of it.
And I know we've talked about this before, but I'm going to talk about it again. The calming effect that these EV cars have in general. Obviously, the better the sound deadening, the better things are. So as you go up any kind of manufacturing line, this is actually at the top, because yes, it's super quiet, but it's also a very comfortable and almost a Zen type of place to be. Like, if you do yoga or you meditate or you do any of those things, you don't meditate to like blaring music or loud noises while you're meditating. You meditate to usually peace, quiet, things like that. And I don't know if it was purposely done, but I think it's maybe just kind of like collateral damage for all EVs where that was kind of developed. And then that's kind of a nice thing to be, because it is stressful to sit in traffic all day and then work a 9 to 5 and be stopping and going. That just adds stress and it shortens your life. I don't know if, obviously there'll have to be some long-term study done behind this, but I would imagine maybe an EV car is going to extend your life, just because it probably lowers your stress levels and
as they
lowers your
become
cortisol levels, all of that kind of stuff, where you're not always amped up.
As autonomy starts happening, or at least more. Yeah, that's probably
maybe less road rage. People that have too much testosterone, they're out there freaking cursing at people and flicking them off and causing accidents and doing whatever. Like this, you know, you're very capable in this car, but you almost feel like you don't have to push it.
Normally with the Porsche,
yeah.
it seems the case, but yeah, this is even more amplifying that. Do you feel like these tires are louder? These are an all-season tire, Continental. Do you feel like they're any louder than any of the other ones that we've driven?
I think a little bit.
I feel like I'm hearing a little bit.
Yeah, I think not like a little bit like more road noise. I think that occurs too because obviously this is rolling on 21-inch wheels as well. So there's something to be said for, you know, maybe the 4S because it had a bigger sidewall, so it more absorption for road noise, but that was full acceleration, but not launch.
It's weird too because you don't even get. I mean, obviously the coefficient drag is lessened as much as it can be.
Yeah.
You don't even get a lot of wind noise, and you're going.
Yeah.
You know, a decent pace. The speed limit of 45 miles an hour. Yeah, as you can tell, all the palm trees in Mexico.
Yeah. Coming in from the California side as well. But yeah, it doesn't disappoint, I'll tell you that right now. And like anybody who has this range anxiety thing, I think you'll get over that pretty quickly driving one of these because, I mean, you're going to know where, it's almost like, I compare it, you know, I was thinking about this the other day because I own a diesel truck. It's almost kind of like having a diesel. Although diesel pumps are everywhere, but there are a lot of gas stations that don't have diesel. So you kind of need to know where the diesel pumps are, just like you need, like in this, you educate yourself where your electric charging areas will be.
And they help, and I mean, that's something Porsche's taken a step to, is that the whole mapping. Whenever you use the navigation in here, they let you know, hey, here's where the next station is. They have that whole blue zone, or I can't remember exactly what it's called, but they help you out.
Exactly.
Going, you're not gonna be able to make the whole trip. You need to stop here, here, and here, and then, or you know, with the fastest charging station, so you're not wasting your time either.
And Aaron and I talked on the most recent podcast about Porsche spending $15 billion over the next 5 years in technology. Some of that money we suspect is going to go to charging stations and things like that, as far as their own infrastructure to help support this, because this is obviously, if you're not paying attention to Porsche, this is not the only EV that's coming out from Porsche. Their whole lineup's going to go EV as far as an option to be EV, not solely just EV, but their crossover SUV, the Macan, is going to be EV. Their Cayenne is going to be EV. They have the Taycan, obviously. You know, this is already there. They're going to have their sports cars, the Cayman and the Boxster. They're going to have EV. And eventually the Holy Grail, the 911, is going to be EV. So it's just a matter of time.
2024, things are going to be different.
They're spending tons of money to help support the customer base, so there isn't that argument anymore. Well, what do I do for charging? What do I do for this? What do I do for that?
Yeah.
All of that stuff's being settled right now. So don't let that prevent you from buying one of these. Be a pioneer and get one of these, because that support is on the way.
Yeah, I still need to pay for their $1 billion EV facility.
Yeah, that stuff's going to pay for itself, though. I mean, this really is. There's nothing you can do moving forward. This is the future, whether we like it or not. And believe it, we're motorsports, combustion engine guys. I would love for it to stay motorsport forever, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
It'll be as motorsport as this gets.
Yeah, and like we've talked about with the Taycan Turbo S, this turbo, I still feel very motorsporty driving this. And what I mean by that is I don't feel like this is lacking anything because it's non-combustion.
And that's exactly, and if you think about it, the point where everything was virtually manual, manual to automatic, and then we got the Tiptronics, and they were okay, but then we finally got PDK technology. It'll be like, control. I mean, we always need to do some launch control.
All right, well, you should put your head back.
I'm good. I don't think it's gonna be that bad.
All right.
It's not. It's definitely more than the 4S, because the power is, 100 more. But the
handles on rails too. Again, back to that person who wrecked one going out of the dealership. How do you do that?
Yeah,
I mean, we're we're taking those at ridiculously fast speeds, those corners.
Yeah.
No problem. Not a problem whatsoever. Roger that. Launch control activated. Oh my God. I don't care how many times you've done that. That is just overly violent. Shouldn't be legal. Shouldn't be legal. That Porsche allows that to happen. It's like a endurance race.
I got confused for a second. I was looking for manual.
You're not. That's right. You got it. There you go.
Oh, I thought it was on you. That snugness, like the seatbelt hugging you.
Well, yeah, where it grabs you.
Yeah. It's like you're about to be in for a ride.
Yeah. It's almost like that roller coaster thing where you sit down and then it's like the air locks you in, you know, where it's like, like grabs you and puts you in. It's like, all right, leaving the station.
Exactly. It feels just the same as the roller coaster you're about to go on.
I know we've touched on this earlier, but how do you feel about the leather color?
I'm not a big fan of brown leathers, but I kind of feel like it's a retro thing.
Yeah.
I don't know that. I mean, my first thought would not be black and brown for a color palette.
I like it when it's this dark.
Yeah.
I don't, obviously, I've said many, many times on many shows and many recordings we've ever done how I'm not a fan of tan interior. This is nothing close to that. This is that, you know, if you remember in the G bodies, and I think one of the options was tobacco brown.
Yeah.
This reminds me a lot of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say it feels like a throwback.
But I like it, you know. Obviously, retro's in nowadays, but it also ages well. You know, it's if you're gonna do something, it's steps outside of black. You know, as far as interior goes, I feel like this is kind of a safe move, but it still makes a statement.
Yeah. I mean, it has that espresso. I mean, it's not too dark, so it still has color. It's not fading into the black. It's a good color.
It's classy, right?
And then definitely with the gold, the accents that look like gold that aren't gold.
The rose gold inside.
Matching wheels. Yeah, all that plays together very, very well.
Never realized. I guess they could see it at home, but I didn't look at it. It says like turbo inside the head.
Oh yeah, there's a turbo delete insignia for the rear seats apparently.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Why would you want to delete that?
I don't know.
I don't know. It looks cool though.
Wait a minute. Maybe you're just all about business. You don't care about those back seats.
Yeah. I'm not gonna be back there. I don't care. Driving feels. Let's hear it from Aaron. What do you think?
Feels very tight. I felt like I've not that there's, I don't know, maybe I just didn't notice. I felt like there's more body roll in this one when you were driving earlier.
Yeah.
Than the Turbo S. I doubt that's the case. You might have been just driving it harder.
Yeah, my muscle memory doesn't recall that far back, to be completely honest with you. I think they both still feel pretty flat.
Oh, I'm saying they're flat. I just felt like, I'm not saying it's like a...
maybe your body was
Yeah.
actually
Maybe
rolling. I don't know if the car was, but your body might have been rolling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe you just, weren't, maybe the seats were a little tighter. Who knows? The bolstering. I don't know. Can you see yourself driving one of these?
100%. It looks so cool. Like, this is, if you were ever to be like kind of obstinate about like, I don't know if I like the look, so maybe you didn't like the Star Trooper white wheel look. It's not that sporty looking. This spec is the way to do it.
Those gold wheels really pop on on the black on the outside.
They would work with a black, probably with a dark blue, anything like that. These just wheels, it's just a different look with them being all coated one color. As far as steering feels, if they feel like it feels exactly like the 4S, the Turbo S did.
Yeah. I'm trying to look at this list of some of the stuff you could probably get away with not doing.
A lot of it.
So truffle brown interior, it's the $2,400 upgrade, like you said. You could get rid of this dual screen because it's a G-Wiz thing. Yeah. That's $3,600. You could toss that crap out the window. Cool. If you're spending $180, like, what's $3,600? I guess, or $150, I should say. Take that back. What's $3,600 if you're already there? It's a G-Wiz thing, but if you really are, counting thousands here, that's a big one you could take away. Mobile charger disconnect, $1,100. I don't know if that's a deal breaker. Do you need this thing to really charge your phone? Like, as far as like the touch thing it has in it or whatever. Yeah, it's cool. I guess it's important, but it has a docking station. That was a $400 option. That's probably important. You want to charge it at least, but this is that, I don't know, the mobile disconnect thing or whatever. I don't know. $3,500 for the wheels. I think actually that's a good buy. If you want to go with a big wheel, this is a 21-inch wheel. If you like the look of this wheel, which I do, I would definitely go with that. Surround view, $1,200. That's the virtual, see the car all the way around, parking, all that kind of stuff. I don't know. That's kind of a G-Whiz thing in my book too. How often are you really going to use that option?
All the time.
But I guess in city parking it is kind of important if you get kind of close, especially if you're like Aaron, you like your parking.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Park anywhere. I was gonna say you would probably be using it in the city, and this would probably be it. It doesn't necessarily have to be a travel car. It could be a city commuter.
Massage seat ventilation.
I don't remember ever seeing a massage seat on the other ones. Maybe that's.
I don't either, but I don't think we tried it, so it might have been there. But that's definitely a must. At least this you're gonna live here, especially because that's included in the seat ventilation. So can't not have that. Oh yeah. Door sill matte carbon illumination. $1,300. You could crap that. Like, you don't need that. If you're trying to spruce it up, that's all that kind of like spruced up stuff. Okay, wheels painted is a $1,300 option. Okay. So not only do you have to pay for the $3,500, and you pay $1,300 to get them painted. Yeah, they look great. Oh, you bastard. They look really good in the satin gold, but you could take them, aftermarket and get it done for half that. But it saves you the convenience of having to do that, at least, if it comes that way.
If you were going to get aftermarket wheels anyways, why not?
Yeah.
Get something where the fitment offset, everything's going to be.
No, I'm just saying if you opted not to paint them, and you still bought the wheels from Porsche, you could take them somewhere. You could save $600, but is the convenience worth $600 to you? I think it probably is. So you don't have to screw with it. Power folding mirrors, little nickel and dime stuff, $330.
Well, I mean, again, it's all that, like, those folding mirrors would be good if you're in
I'm only going through all this stuff where you can see where this really adds up, where all of this starts to come in at. You know, where's all that come from, right? So that's kind of where window trim and high gloss black. Yeah, that's important. Like, that's the exterior stuff, where it's all that just looks better than that either stainless steel or chrome trim, whatever they refer to that as. I just don't really like that spec on anything. Under puddle light projectors, $300. So you see where this thing kind of adds up. We all kind of went over the big ones, the thousands and stuff like that. There's some stuff you can do without, and that's how you kind of get to that $30,000 upcharge margin. It adds up fast, surprisingly, especially when you have some big ticket stuff here, like the $3,500 wheels, $3,600, you know, the adaptive cruise control, all that stuff. And I think that's another thing too. I don't know if you really need this to know. Dude.
I always think it's on my right for some reason.
I don't know. But I don't know. I mean, unless you're going on like massive road trips, I don't really see paying $3,600 for adaptive cruise control. You could kind of throw that out the window. Like, it's gonna have cruise anyways, but that's the radar adaptive stuff. I don't think it.
I'm sure it's.
I don't think it needs that. But no, it's separated. It says it $3,600 for that. It's not technology separated. It's not everything that comes with that. So if you could shit can that, then maybe get rid of that. I don't know.
We're already here. We're already spending.
No, and I think it refers back to that, right? Like, if you're spending that much money already, I just wanted to go over all the traits. Yeah. Like, you know, it's not a deal breaker.
It's like
you're spending $150, why not go all the way, right? Like, this is beautifully spec'd, don't get me wrong.
It is.
But these AC seats feel good.
That's true. And that's one thing. These are actually, I don't know if that's newer technology. Obviously, it might be. They're quieter than most of the ones we've been in.
Yeah, the older ones in like 15 and 16, this is definitely quieter. So all in all, what are closing thoughts on this thing?
It's super comfortable, and I think that the brown leather is also psychologically getting me into that comfort zone.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm a fan of it. It handles. You know what? I enjoy the power. I'm not gonna no sugarcoating that.
Yeah, no lying about that.
I think that. I mean, 4S is good power. It's 570, but an extra 100 doesn't hurt.
Yeah, but it makes a big difference too. I mean, you know, it's not an underrated amount of horsepower. It's quite a bit. 100 horsepower is a big difference.
Well, one thing that we're not talking about too, and we haven't really seen specs, and I don't see anybody with a dyno, is torque. What are these things actually putting out for torque? That may be a difference too.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what we're feeling, the push anyways.
Yeah.
But I really do like it. Very comfortable, very tight. I mean, it's as 9 load as you can get with having 2 extra doors. I mean, it's...
Yeah, it's a great place to be. We want to thank Suncoast for letting us use this car once again. This car is one of their dealership, gems right now. It's sitting in their dealership. And they, were kind enough to let us use it. So make sure that you visit them, for any of your parts needs. They're one of the major parts suppliers for Porsche parts, as well as they sell cars there as well. Obviously, this is there. And they move quite a bit of volume, and we like to thank them because they're part of the, the P-Car Club family.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that. We want to thank you guys for watching because we couldn't do what we're doing without you guys. Exactly. So we definitely appreciate that. Remember to subscribe, share, like, comment, all those things. We love hearing from you guys, especially you trolls that like to come on occasionally.
We don't have any of those.
Yeah, I guess that's what happens, regardless of the internet.
Tell us we should have got the manual Taycan.
Well, it's a crap review, bro. Whatever. Anyways, in all seriousness, we appreciate you loyal fans that are subscribing, that are sharing, that are liking. It really means a lot to us while we're out here and getting to do these reviews for you guys and drive around in these cars. You guys are the ones who make this happen. So we want to thank you so much, and we will see you guys on the next one.
See ya.